In a quiet village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived an old monk. He was known far and wide for his calm demeanor and ever-present smile. No matter the season, whether the winds roared or the sun blazed, his peaceful presence never wavered. The villagers often came to him seeking wisdom, for his words had a way of touching hearts. One day, a troubled young woman approached him. "Master," she said, her voice heavy with frustration, "I do not understand. Life is filled with sorrow and disappointment, yet you always seem at peace. Don't you ever feel sad? Don't hardships trouble you?" The old monk chuckled softly. "Ah, my child," he said, "let me tell you a story." He led her to a large tree that stood at the edge of the village, its branches wide, its roots deep. "Do you see this tree?" he asked. She nodded. "When I was young," the monk continued, "I had a loving family with my relatives and friends. We lived humbly but happily. One fateful winter, sickness crept into our home like a shadow. We had little medicine, and despite my efforts, my family relatives and friends were taken by the cold. I was left alone, drowning in sorrow." The young woman's eyes widened. "How did you overcome such pain?" The monk placed his hand on the tree's rough bark. "For a long time I was like a leaf in the storm, tossed and broken. I asked the heavens why such suffering had befallen me. But then I looked at the trees. No matter how fierce the wind, the strongest trees do not resist. They bend. They do not cling to their leaves when autumn arrives, nor do they mourn the fallen ones. They simply let go, knowing that spring will come again." He turned to her with a gentle smile. "That is when I understood. Suffering is a visitor, not a permanent resident. Just as seasons change, so do our joys and sorrows. I chose not to hold on to grief, but to embrace each moment as it came. Every day I found something small to appreciate. The warmth of the sun, the laughter of a child, the rustling of leaves in the wind. And in doing so, I discovered that happiness is not something given to us by life. It is something we cultivate within." The young woman absorbed his words in silence. "But what if the pain is too strong?" she asked. The monk smiled knowingly. "Then, my dear, you must remember this. Even the darkest night must give way to the dawn. And even in the heaviest storm, there is always a shelter, if only we choose to see it." From that day forward, the young woman practiced what the monk had taught her. She found joy in the little things and let go of pain as the trees let go of their leaves. Soon, others noticed the change in her, and like ripples in a pond, the monk's wisdom spread through the village. People began to understand that happiness was not found in a perfect life, but in a peaceful heart. And so, under the wise monk's guidance, the village became a place of quiet joy, where people learned to dance in the rain rather than wait for the storm to pass, and learned that happiness is not dependent on external factors, but is a conscious choice that individuals can make, regardless of their circumstances.